What a historic session here. Unbelievable volatility. And everybody wants to know whether or not the lows are in. We'll talk about that and a lot more. There's a lot to unpack here today. Again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate each and every one of you. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'm telling you, this is not a market you want to miss these trades out on. I just closed out, actually still holding a runner on easily the best point gain on an ES trade I've ever had. And we took that in the live trading room this morning. Again, 60% off first month. It's basically free. You could have just paid for a year's worth of the service in about 10 minutes. This morning, look at this headline move. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but that's 300. From the low to the high here, 48.75 to 52, almost 5,300. We had an entry at 49.79, and well over hundreds of points being gained here, and still holding a runner on this. So just incredible moves here. But that headline was off of there was a rumor that Trump was going to walk back some of the tariffs. They denied that, and now we know what exactly the administration can say if they ever want to stick it to shorts. Because that got a 300-point move in mere minutes here. Now, do we have a bottom in place? This is definitely bottom volume. Look at the SPY here. It's 240 million after a day of 217 million. That's definitely bottom volume. That does not mean we can't make a new low, though, in a sense. Like, we could sweep, and I think we could, maybe come down. But that's panic there. The only thing I don't like is there's a lot of people still kind of like looking for a low, but you can't argue with that. And again, you can see these two trend lines on my chart here. Those are going back a long way, and you can see we held the, if I can get us back there, we held this COVID low here. Hopefully they don't demonetize me for that. But either way, you can see here RSI at the levels not seen since then. McClellan levels not seen since then. This morning it was actually at like basically a double bottom. Both of these were, but obviously we finished off the lows. So that level getting defended right now, and just an incredible move. And right now a lot of people are confused. Like, how, if there was a fake headline, why is the market still up? Gee, I don't know, because the NQ is 5 standard deviations from current price, or from the 20 moving average. Just to visualize that. Right there. I mean, this makes the thing that I shouldn't have said drop look like a joke. I mean, look how far outside that is. This is not a Bollinger Band. It's a regression channel, and this is like a 5. This is supposed to be like 3 standard Ds, but at one point we were at 5. Okay, so literally, like, somebody could sneeze the wrong way on the NYSE and we could squeeze 400 points. That's what happened today. Additionally, we also had Trump threatening to, another headline was threatening to increase the tariff by 50% on China. That was right here. And we sold off for about 5 seconds and then went higher. We should have dumped on that. And we closed higher than where we were then. So that tells you that we reached a critical mass of short sellers here, at least in the near term. So I'd say chances of an interim bottom are very high, maybe even a secular, a more secular type bottom. Well, Aaron, how can that happen? We're in a bear market now. Well, I mean, we just crashed, right? The crash happens at the end. And honestly, you got your 20%. Like bears, you got your pound of flesh. You got everything you wanted. So, I mean, if you're still calling for more down here, that doesn't mean it can't happen. But, dude, you gotta protect here. We could be at 5,400 tomorrow easily. So I would think that tomorrow maybe bulls can follow through a little bit. There definitely is still some risk, though, and it's not going to go straight up. They're going to try and get people out. I think we could even see a sweep of the low. There's things that typically happen when these bottoming processes happen. But look at this. I mean, look at this. It's 409. We're up 40 points here. $4 on the spiders. The market's closed. This is how fast we're moving. So, I mean, this is just unbelievable here. And definitely a historic day. Last 2 trading days. Last Friday was an amazing day as well. 3 for 3 trading that. And I think we had 50-point gain on each of the trades we took today. The first leg out was over 100 points, which is pretty incredible. Just amazing volatility here. And this is where you do want to start stepping in. I did increase some SPY position here, unlevered. I will be adding some more levered positions here soon once we see some structure. But I mean, this is just unbelievable. Totally incredible. I do want to talk about one thing though, and that is the that is Trump's game plan right now. I'll say that. And there's a chance here where I don't want to, like hype it up too much, but like I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that if this works out, it's a total gamble what he's doing right now. But if it works out and he gets what he wants, now the EU and the UK, allegedly they're coming to the table. Taiwan's coming to the table now. If he gets China to back down, I think that's the linchpin. If he gets China to bend the knee, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say we could see a renaissance. Like probably the biggest, significant economic like development since like World War II for the United States. Making our debt more attractive, lowering prices, killing inflation. That would be huge if he can get his best case scenario. Now it's not going to be easy, but the positive is right here. Look at the FXI, just absolutely getting rocked, down over almost 10% here. If we flip back over, I think I can show you some of the European markets here. Let me get rid of this deviation tool. Look at the DAX, destroyed. CAC 40, crushed. N100, Nikkei managing to come back green, but Japan's a little bit different, and they're playing ball. UK 100, smoked. HK 50, 13%. CSI, 7 1/3. Rest of the world, Nifty 50, Sensei, Kospi, like these are all getting crushed. How much more of that can they take if the QQQ is going to close green? So he's winning the race, and I'm willing to at least float this idea here. I think the bond market, it may be a little offsides. We are selling that long end, so it's like it seems to be the expectation here. The consensus is bond market implosion. I'm not buying it yet, but if I get a setup here and if I see confirmation, market confirmation, I like TLT. Because if Besant and Trump pull this out, I'm not saying it's going to work out perfectly, but if it does, there is a gigantic right tail, not just in stocks, but in TLT and bonds too. So I think it's interesting. We're definitely in some interesting times here right now. For tomorrow, I think it's constructive. We consolidate. We had the big pop, the squeeze, but we're consolidating that. We're not just going straight up. So that's a positive right now. Obviously, bears at the moment. I'll just tell you the ES levels. Yeah, I'll just say like 5,000 right now. And maybe like 49.80 is just kind of where my entry is. We could see us back down at 48.50, and obviously a new low there would be a new low. But I don't think that really happens tomorrow. I think if that's going to happen, it's going to be on a sweep, maybe later this week. If we also take a look here, I said this last night, that look, this is, margin call, margin wiping, liquidations and stuff like that aside, this is the buy level, right? What a great spot of liquidity to fill out right here with the 618, the 2022 pivot. It looks like a good place here. And if nothing else, even if you are bearish at, in the big picture, let's just say we don't go up and test 5,500 first. Right. So, you don't have to be like, I'm a swing trader, I'm a day trader. I don't give a crap about your long-term thesis, honestly, quite frankly. I just want to, as long as I'm making money, I don't really care. So that's kind of the long and short of it. But right now, big level, 5,400-ish. It's these 20, 40 point zones here on either side of each level, but we'll say 5,400, right? The August level. A reclaim of that would certainly put bulls up into the 5,500, 5,550 area on ES. But that is going to be huge resistance. So, you can see that's where we broke down Friday. It's going to be huge. So I don't think we're going to just get through that, but that's the next level I'd be watching. And if we can reclaim this level, obviously that gets us going in that direction. I'm not doing that much work on dealers right now, and really actually any at all. So I'm not really even paying attention to SPY. I'm just doing my work on ES really for the most part. But One of the things that was jumped out at me right off the bat this morning is the semiconductors went green pretty much immediately, like before everything else. Lots of stocks like Amazon went green pretty quickly too. IGV went up nicely. Nvidia was strong too, so that was kind of a leading indicator there. And we know the semis tend to do that. Triple Qs here again closing green. That's a positive. IWM here that did close red. Look at the pop it had intraday though. That is unbelievable. 171 to 190 in like 40 minutes. So incredible moves here. Volatility is not done. Speaking of volatility, I don't think usually when the VIX reverses same day, it's usually done. That doesn't mean the market can't come down and make a new low, but usually volatility starts getting sold when you see this happen. But I mean, VIX 60, I mean, it's up there, dude. It's up there. DIA down 1%. Again, all the way down to 370. That is incredible. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. In 3 days, 2021 high completely retraced. But I mean, this is where you buy things cheap. I mean, this is where you're getting it on a discount right now. It hasn't back checked there ever. It's never back checked that breakout, and you're getting a chance to buy it now. So, IGV here down 5 cents. I mean, just amazing moves across the board. Holding this August level, and again, this continues to outperform. It's gotten slammed, but look at this is still above the August low. Semis are at 52-week lows. QQQ, SPY, they're all at 52-week lows pretty much. Where IGV's holding, still like software. Anyway, transports here, inside day finishing, finishing with an inside day. It did have a little outside spike, but that finished inside. We talked about rates here, and really quickly, one other positive right now too is everybody's focused on this 10-year and the 30-year, but quietly, look at the yield curve, highest spread in years on 210s. That doesn't look like a bond market that's imploding to me. So I'm telling you, I mean, maybe this is wrong. I'm not acting on it just yet, but don't be surprised if that long end surprises. Pun intended. Don't be surprised if people get surprised here. I think the bond market's offsides. Or at least I see the potential for it. Anyway, XHB, bouncing off the lows, not the greatest. It was strong Friday though, isn't that funny? VNQ, look at this big fat doji, near 52-week lows here, and again, look at the volume on this. Look at the volume on SPY, over 200 million. I don't know if I talked about that already. This has just been wild. Look at more volume today than we've had in some weeks in recent memory. So pretty incredible. Anyway, XLF here, finishing down 11 cents. Went all the way down to that 42 area we talked about. So right there, right on the money. Bouncing right where it should. KRE finishing green. Again, 618 tested and held. Should probably just stay on the weekly chart for a lot of these things since we got so far outside of the normal range and broker dealers here. Finishing down about nice doji finishing inside of yesterday's or Friday's range. And kind of back testing that big breakout, that parabola move. Now, I also think there's some arbitrage, some opportunity to right tail, possibly in oil. So if like recession risk is like super high, like everybody's saying it is now, and by the way, all these jackasses, like, I'm sorry, but that's what they are. Larry Fink, Bill Ackman, like Tom Lee out there crying on TV, oh, Trump's destroying capitalism. Like, first of all, you guys wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for capitalism. If we had capitalism, I'm sorry. But these guys out there talking about, recession risk and now the market's going to crash and all this stuff. Why is oil down 1% then? Shouldn't oil be down 10%? That tells me there's a hell of a lot of shorts in this. This should be way lower. So speaking of things that have right tails, I think oil could be a surprise too. I know it's unadjusted there on the oil, so we had to use the daily, but yeah, I mean, at these lows, I'd love to see a nice little, one more dip here and then a reclaim. I'd be interested in oil too. We'll see. Oil prices are down. That's what Trump wants. He just can't get that. He's got to get that 30-year down. But we'll see. It's all going to come down to China, really, in my opinion. XLE, you know, just amazing volatility here. This is probably too cheap. Same thing with XLP, retrace all the way to 100. So big retest there. OIH, same thing, and coming off the lows. Just take a look at CCJ here. Yeah, gap down and rally back like a lot of things. Nat gas here down 5%. So starting to lose that range. I want to see where it closes the week though. As long as it's above 355, I think it's okay. But it is dipping down. Dollar index managed to rally today. So again, maybe a failed breakdown, maybe a bear trap there. That's a nasty trap. Look, if that follows through to the upside. Dollar yen also quite strong. So nice rebound. So maybe things aren't so bad. We'll see. Gold here off the highs, but it did bounce back off the 50 MA. I missed, kind of upset I missed this last night. But look at the 4-hour, beautiful hit of that 618, an amazing bounce. That would have been a great buy. I tweeted about this last night too. Said if there was a way for me to buy it unlevered right now, I would, like, no brainer would have bought silver when it was down at 27. Like, what do you do? 52-week highs to 52-week lows on the like 6th largest market cap asset in the world. Down 25% in 3 sessions, 52-week highs, 52-week lows. Come on, like that's absurd. That's asinine. That would have been, I mean, it came off the lows by $2 right after that. The same thing with copper. Said the same thing on that. Just absurd. Like, this is just stupid. New 52-week low. Come on now. You know, and you know, the only way to buy it would have been on you know, with futures and leverage. You know, I didn't want to do that, but if SLV was trading, I would have definitely taken it. But you know, it is what it is. Still got, you know, ES this morning. I ain't complaining. Been one of my best days ever. So, platinum here flat, palladium here coming down, kind of close to double bottom, and then Bitcoin here did not finish all that great, considering. Actually, well, it finished up. Okay, it finished green. Never mind. I take that back. As I'm looking at IBIT on my other screen, that's why. Oh, finished green on heavy volume. And I said this morning, actually tweeted this too. I said, just looking at, you know, just eyeball, this doesn't pass the eye test yet. I know it's bear flagging. I know. I see it. I'm not stupid. But look at, this is a 50 moving average here. I'd prefer to see the bear flag below that. And it just looks to me like it's not quite ready to break down yet. So it might need more time if it's going to go down. Or maybe, you know, it just squeezes and goes back up. But we all know the real safe haven is still the almighty, if I can type it in, the almighty Farcoin. And that was up 15.3%. So, you know, Farcoin bear is getting killed right now. Heck, even, you know, some of these other alts holding up all right on a day where they should be down a lot. You know what else is green this morning too? GameStop. So interesting. Nice safe haven trade. Anyway, we'll see what we get tomorrow. Yeah, I think, you know, bulls can construct here. I mean, you've got higher lows. It's trying to push up. 5250 ES next, through that 53, and then really like 5380 to 5400. I think are the next levels. Bears should come in there, and I would expect them to show up a little bit there. The you know, I get a lot of questions about like, oh, should we buy? Should we buy? Should we buy? Yeah, maybe unlevered. Yeah, I don't think it's good to buy leveraged right now though yet. At least not with any sort of size, because they will try to hit this again, and they may sweep the low, you know, to get everybody out. So this is dangerous, you know, but there's opportunity from this, and if you're smart about it, it can reward very nicely. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here again. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Sale ends on Friday. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.